No Ceilings, a outlet that many people respect and love their draft coverage. They go in the weeds. They're basically focused almost solely on draft and prospect coverage for the entirety of the year. If you need a place that you can go and check in on some of these prospects over the course of the NCAA season, No Ceilings is really the place to do that. But with that said, in their latest mock draft, they actually have the Bulls drafting Thomas Sorber. Now, just to kind of update it, in NBADraft.net, their most recent update, which came on the 6th, so about 6 days ago, they're probably going to be coming out with a new one here soon that we'll talk about over the weekend. They have the Bulls drafting Nick Clifford. The Ringer, who just updated their mock draft a couple of days ago, they have the Bulls drafting Kaman Malawak and him falling to the Chicago Bulls there. And then when you look at this, No Ceilings now has Thomas Sorber being there and moving up in this draft. And I think this is a solid place for Thomas Sorber to be at. Of course, people are there was somebody, by the way, who left a comment that said Thomas Sorber is going to fall into the second round. You, sir, are an idiot. Like, he's not a great shooter, so he's going to fall into the second round. Some of y'all need to actually watch some people and actually touch dirt a little bit, but nonetheless, I'm not going to focus on that. But Thomas Sorber, there to the Chicago Bulls, and the blurb here, this one's written by Nathan at No Ceilings. He says this: Thomas Sorber was one of the better defensive playmakers in this draft class, and landing the Georgetown product would be a massive win for the Chicago Bulls, a franchise that has lacked a defensive-minded center for quite a number of years, and Sorber's size, length, and instincts would help him form an identity on that end of the floor behind a number of creative shot makers. Should his outside touch come around, he may end up as one of the steals in this draft class when it's all said and done. For now, he's a capable post scorer, roller, rebounder, and interior defender with the potential to develop into much more. Keep an eye on how he can impact the game as a passer upon reaching the next level in his playing career. And that's the thing for Thomas Sorber that really, when you talk about all these prospects and what surprised in the combine, Thomas Sorber's passing was something that a lot of people talked about. And that's because he didn't get a chance to use it a lot at the NCAA level, but he is a solid enough interior passer as well. Thomas Sorber brings a lot of things that this team could need. There's no prospect that brings everything that the Bulls need. There's just not. As far as switchable, as far as size, as far as defensive and rim protection, there's not a guy that brings all of those things. There are some that get close. Thomas Sorber, Rasheer Fleming are two guys that get very close. By the way, No Ceilings has Rasheer Fleming going right after the Chicago Bulls to the Atlanta Hawks at number 13. So, we'll see what happens when it comes down to that one. But Thomas Sorber in his size, his legit size, the 7'5" wingspan, being basically 6'2" with legit NBA size at 262 pounds already, Thomas Sorber brings a lot of those things that the Bulls could need, and him being mocked here to the Bulls makes a lot of sense. I don't really find any holes with it. He's been one of my favorite prospects in this draft,